Welcome to Broadway and Jeopardy. This is a full compilation episode that has, just like regular Jeopardy, 6 different categories that we'll do in order. Well, actually, in no particular order. The shows that we'll be covering are Cats, Dear Evan Hansen, Wicked, Oklahoma, Cinderella, and Hamilton. So gather your friends and family and see who is the Broadway master. So this we'll go through each of the 5 rounds for each show, and then I will ask you the final Jeopardy question. You can wager what you have up to that point. So this is a little bit different than regular Jeopardy, but hey, it's Broadway. We do what we want. Hope you're a cat person. We're going to be talking about Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats. There'll be 5 rounds about lyrics, and then a final trivia question for Final Jeopardy to see how well you know Cats. So for the 100-point round, memory, all alone in the, I can smile at the old days. All alone in the moonlight, I can smile at the old days. Very good if you got that. Now for the 200-point question. Jellicle cats come out tonight. Jellicle cats come one and all. The Jellicle moon is... What's that? The Jellicle moon is shining bright. All right. 3 for 300 points, our 300-point. So which law does he break? It's the law of gravity. He breaks the law of gravity. It rhymes with technicality, I guess. All right, time for the 400-point question. Skimbleshanks. Whoa, try saying that 3 times fast. Skimbleshanks, the railway cat, the cat of the railway train. There's a whisper down the line at 11:39 when the night. Looking for 4 words here. When the night mail's ready to depart. Ooh, that's kind of a tongue twister all by itself, those lyrics. All right, for the final round, you got to fill in 5 different words. Mungo Jerry and Rumpleteazer were a notorious couple of cats. As knockabout clowns, quick change, and then finish the rest of that. There's 5 different words that we're looking for. Some of the words, I'll give you a hint, are hyphenated. Quick change comedians, tightrope walkers, and acrobats. Well, it's quite a skill set to have. Time for Final Jeopardy. Go ahead and make your wager. How many of those points will you wager on this final question? All right, the final question. Which famous poet wrote the book of poems that inspired the musical Cats? It was first a collection of poems by which poet? It was a book by T.S. Eliot, the famous poet. So the book was called Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. And so that was the basis for this Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. All right, on Dear Evan Hansen. All right, let's jump right in to the 100-point question. All right, even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be. Hmm. You will be found. I hope you found that answer. It's a name of one of the more popular songs from the show, so that should not have been too hard. But here on to the 200-point question. I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn. 2 words. The key. You slam on the brake before you even turn the key. All right, on to the 300-point question.
The 300-point round.
Because when the villains fall, the 3 words we're looking for. Because when the villains fall, the kingdoms never weep. In other words, no one mourns the wicked. Wrong show. Sorry. All right, on to the 400-point question. All we see is sky for forever. We let the world. Now we're looking for 4 words for the 400-point question. We let the world pass by for forever. All right. 500 points. Do you think you're up for it? Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt 5 words we're looking for here? See if you can figure that out. Forgotten in the middle of nowhere. I hope not. That sounds like a horrible feeling. Okay, how did you do? It's time for Final Jeopardy. So make your wager about the points that you already got for bragging rights if you're playing with your friends. All right, so this is not going to be about lyrics, but about the musical Dear Evan Hansen itself. So how well do you know the musical? Which song from Dear Evan Hansen won the Grammy and Academy Award when it was later used in the film? So there's the film version that came out much later. Which song won? Waving through a window. Waving through a window. Hope you got that one. And hope you, if you did, that you had a nice big wager so that you.
We're going to be featuring Wicked. This is your chance to show whether you are a good witch or a bad witch or some kind of munchkin. Anyway, the 100-point round. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the of someone else's game. That's the rules of someone else's game from Defying Gravity. That's a pretty simple one, but they get a little harder. All right, the 200-point round. All right, when I see depressing creatures with features, I remind them on their own. You have to think of celebrated heads of state, especially great communicators. All right, so this is from Popular. Fill in the blank. So I don't know if this is really a word. Somebody go look it up for me. They make up a lot of words in Wicked, if you've noticed. Unprepossessing features. When I see depressing creatures with unprepossessing creatures, that's what features. That's why the blank was so long, because it's a really long word. Well, you might even say a college word, because that's where they are. Anyway, the 300-point round. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a bringing something we must and we are led to those who help us most to This is from For Good. Let's see if you're any good. That's right, it's for a reason. They help us to learn and grow. So reason, learn, and grow are our three blanks. It's a beautiful song. I can't wait to hear it in Wicked Part 2, or I think it's actually called For Good. All right, 400-point round. When people see me, they will for half of favorite team, the blank and blank. I didn't tell you the name of this one because it could be giving it away, right? So the people will scream for half of Oz's favorite team, the Wizard and I. So name of the song. So didn't mention that this time. All right, you ready for the 500-point wizard level question? Here you go. No good deed goes no act of goes unresented. No good deed goes that's my new My road of good intentions led where such roads always Once again, I didn't mention the name of the song because this is No Good Deed Goes Unpunished. No act of charity goes unresented. No good deed goes unpunished. That's my new creed. And then finally, where these roads always lead. All right. It's time for Final Jeopardy. So this is not a lyrics question. This is a question about the musical Wicked and how well you know it. All right. Time for Final Jeopardy. So this is not. All right. So the question is, what two characters in Wicked become the Tin Man and the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz? The answers are Fiyero and Bach. Fiyero becomes the Scarecrow, and Bach becomes the Tin Man. All right, take a back.
All right, today we're taking a look at Hamilton, so don't throw away your shot at these next 5 questions.
Where it happens. 100 points. I'm not throwing away my I'm not throwing away my If you listen to my intro, you should get this one. Well, if you're young, scrappy, and hungry, you know that it is shot. I'm not throwing away my shot. Twice. All right, the 200-point round. There's nothing rich folks love more than going downtown and slumming it with the They pull up in their and gawk at the students in the common just to watch them talk. Yes, Mr. Washington, it is poor and carriages. The poor, they pull up in their carriages. Okay, the 300-point round. See how you're doing. All right, you'll be back. Soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to. You'll be back. Time will tell. You'll remember that I served you. This is Mad King George singing to his unfaithful colonists. You'll remember you belong to me. Yeah, me and well. Served you well. Time will tell. Served you well. So yeah, remember those rhymes. Those will help you. 400. Let's see how you do on this one. No one really knows how the is the art of the trade, how the gets made. All right, it's how the game is played, how the sausage gets made. All right, 500-point question. Why do you write like you're running out of Write day and like you're running out of Every day you like you're running out of All right, the blanks are time, night, time, fight, and time. All right, time for it is. Speaking of time, it's time for your final Jeopardy question. Make your wager. How well do you know the musical? All right, what was Alexander Hamilton's position in the U.S. government? So he is on the $10 bill, but why did we put him there? What did he do to deserve it? All right. Alexander Hamilton was our nation's first Treasury Secretary. That's why he gets to be on the money, even though he was never President of the United States. But then again, Benjamin Franklin wasn't either, and he gets to be on the great big $100 bill. So, who knows? Oklahoma. Yeah, that's right, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. I actually did used to live in Oklahoma, and yes, people did sing that song. Anyways, jump right in. The 100-point round. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful blank. Correct answer is day. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. Yes. All right. 200 points. Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry. When I take you out in the blank. When I take you out in the blank with a blank on top. All right, those blanks are Surrey. When I take you out in the Surrey, when I take you out in the Surrey with the fringe on top. Very fancy for that time, I suppose. All right, the 300 point round. Don't throw blank at me. Don't please my folks too much. Don't laugh at my too much. People will say we're in what belongs there. Okay, the missing words are bouquets, jokes, and love. People will say we're in love is the song. Very good. All right, coming up though, 400. See if you know this one. We know we belong to the blank, and the land we belong to is blank. And when we say yow, a yip-a-yo-wee-hey, we're only saying you're doing fine. Okay. It's okay if you sing along. That's quite all right. If you need to sing in order to get it, do it. All right, we know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. And when we say yow, a yippee yow yay, we're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma, okay. Which is also the the postal code for Oklahoma is okay. All right, on to the 500 point round. See how you're doing. All right, everything's up to date in City. They've gone about as far as or fur as they can go. They went and built a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories. About as high as a building. Grow. So it's Kansas City. They built a skyscraper that's high. That's that many stories high. About as high as a building ought to grow. Very good. Okay, so now it's time for your final Jeopardy. Take the points that you earned in those rounds and make your wager for bragging rights. All right, so this one's different. This one's not going to be lyrics. This is going to be a trivia question about the musical Oklahoma. All right, which prestigious award did Oklahoma win in 1944? So Oklahoma won the Pulitzer Prize for drama. So it is the Pulitzer Prize winning drama. So I won that in 1944, just at the kind of, it was during World War II. So, people needed something to smile at.
Looking at Cinderella, the Rodgers and Hammerstein version. All right, I'm going to give you 5 rounds of questions, followed by a final Jeopardy question that's based on the musical and not just its lyrics. All right, it's the 100-point question. In my own little I can be whatever I want to be. So this one might be a little bit tricky. You might have said chair, but in this case, it's corner. In my own little corner, in my own little chair. In this case, she's talking about the corner. In my own little corner, I can be whatever I want to be. Okay, the 200-point question. Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become what? A golden carriage. You can't rely on the Disney version for this. In the Disney version, it becomes kind of a white carriage. So it's a golden carriage in the Rodgers and Hammerstein version. Okay.
Anyway, the
300
300-point
points.
round.
A little bit harder.
Anyway, the 300-point round. Anyway.
Do I love you because you're beautiful? Or are you beautiful because... 3 words. I love you. I mean, this one, I may or may not know you, but sending my love. Yeah, this one you might be able to get just from kind of the logic of this. Do I love you because you're beautiful, or are you beautiful because I love you? Good question. 400 points on the line for this next one. 10 minutes ago, I saw you. I looked up when you... La 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 la. What is it? Came through the door. That was my Prince Charming voice. Came through the door. I looked up when you came through the door. All right. On to the 500-point question. How well do you know? A lovely night, a finer night you know you'll never see. You meet your prince, a charming prince, as charming as... We're looking for 5 words. As charming as a prince will ever be. All right, I hope you did well on those questions, because it's time for Final Jeopardy. Make your wager out of the points that you've already gotten, and ask yourself, how well do you know the musical? This is not a lyrics question. It's a question about the musical. All right, Rodgers and Hammerstein originally wrote Cinderella for which medium before it became a stage musical? So it was not a stage musical first. It had a life before that. What was it? It was for television. It premiered as a TV musical in 1957, starring the woman herself, Julie Andrews. Yeah, so before it was ever a stage production, it was filmed for TV and then became a stage production. All right, how did you do? All right, take a bow. We got through all 6 rounds. You definitely deserve it. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, check out my other episodes and other content on my channel. And leave me a comment letting me know which show or shows you would like to see me tackle next. Till next time, break a leg.